Nation of Islam. Okay. The reason, because when I found out about white supremacy, I couldn't stand it. Understand? I belong to like a unique sort of community, okay? Say Creole, but really we were Spanish, French, Indian, and free blacks, okay? My daddy, white man, okay? So we were slave owners. I didn't come off no plantation. Both of my grandfathers owned slaves, okay? But we didn't own slaves like a white man. My grandfather told me that his daddy bought 7 slaves. He had 1,000 acres of corn. For the Americans took his 1,000 acres because they passed a law called Plessy versus Ferguson. In the United States, you had to be colored white. And they had told my grandfather, you colored white. He said, I'm not colored white, I'm a Shatta Indian. So say, according to American law, there's no any East Mississippi River, you got to get out of here. And they sent him to the Choctaw Nation in Oklahoma. He went there. He didn't want to stay there. I've been to the Choctaw Nation. I could go join right now if I wish and join the nation. He came back, but it wasn't his land anymore. It was American land. Okay, so I come that type of family: the French, the Spanish, the Indians, and the free black. We still had tribal status in the 50s. We had our own school, our own church. They made us Catholic and gave us our idea of religion. Okay. Now, when I went to church, they gave me Jesus Christ, Catholic Church, you're better than anybody else, okay? And I love Jesus Christ, I want to be like Jesus Christ, but I'm noticing I'm the only one like that. All my cousins and some of the worst people, they're other than that, you know? I had a dream one time, I seen this guy on a horse, and I pledged to him, I said, I want you to be my leader and I'm going to be your best follower. I didn't know who that man on the horse was and stuff like that. As I grew up, I began to see things about my family that I wasn't aware of. We still have self-government. We had self-government. We had different, like wards in between Lacombe and here for the Indians. You know, we had our own government. The marshal would address. The sheriff couldn't arrest us. The marshal, when he took our tribal status away, then the sheriff could arrest us and stuff like that. Okay, so my daddy, when they passed the law of be colored white, my daddy stayed white. They made me colored. My mama stayed Indian because she didn't have no birth certificate and stuff like that. In our own school, I didn't know about the racial stuff like that. We had slaves, but I didn't know about racial stuff like that. I didn't know about racial discrimination till I went to colored school in the 5th grade. The school he's talking about, it was Santana Colored Training School. They trained the color. And I had never heard the word nigger, nothing like that, okay? Till I went to colored school and I heard the American Negroes calling each other, you black, nappy-head, liver-lip nigger, and they played a dozen one another. I never heard, we would kill you if you talk like that to us, okay? And I find these American Negroes were scared of white people. I didn't know why. Why are you scared of white people? We would kill them. They didn't bother us, you know? And when I took a couple of years to understand slavery, the American slavery, not the way we had slavery, American slavery. And when I understood it, I swore I will never accept this. When I understood race like that, I would never. So in school, I started getting the American Negroes together to stand up against that ignorance, you know? And every 6 weeks, they would cut my grade. I made straight A's all through all school. I never got straight A's. They cut my grade every 6 weeks for the call for behavior. Because I would always call them, they say I was behavior. Because I couldn't stand racism and favoritism and all that ignorance, you know. So I hated it. And I couldn't get the Negroes, American Negroes, to stand up with me. I read a paper, we got a Negro magazine called Jet Magazine. I said, I could understand why they were so coward. There was a man in California was standing up to the white man. His name was Elijah Muhammad. They called him them black Muslims. I said, I'm going to find them people and I'm going to work with them against white supremacy and racism. That's what my mission was. My mission was to destroy racism and white supremacy. And I saw them black Muslims in the Jet magazine. I'm going to work with them if I can find them. I couldn't find them. I'm under my mom and my dad care. And understand that right here in Slidell, my daddy being a white, my cousins were running the city. My daddy's first cousins. My daddy go in the front row of white kitchen and curve in. I had to go in the back because I couldn't pass for white. My brother went with my daddy because he had blonde hair. I couldn't pass for white. I couldn't go in the front. I didn't like that at all. So I swore I'm going to fight this till I die. My mission was to destroy white supremacy and racism. I went in the military trying to find somebody to fight with me. My cousins wouldn't because half of my tribe became white. Half of my tribe went to white school and half went to colored school. You understand? And they broke the tribe up by making us white and colored and white. All right? Here, my daddy white, I'm colored. Okay? I didn't like this stuff. I went in the military. I was trying to find some Muslim in the military. Couldn't find any, but I found a lot of communist literature. And that's something, there was no Islamic literature. A lot of communist literature in the U.S. military. So I started reading Marx, Lenin, and the communist philosophy. And I was Catholic up to them. And I was afraid to leave the Catholic Church. I was a religious person, believing in God and all that. But I couldn't leave the church because the church holds you, man. You need that in your life. But that communist literature gave me the strength to break with the church. So I began to follow that communist ideology. Okay, Marxism, Leninism, and stuff like that. Marx, Engels, Lenin, and I read Mao Zedong and Castro, and even all the philosophers, Aristotle, Plato, even though crazy ones like Nietzsche, these crazy ones. I read all the European philosophers. I'm very literate, okay? I love to read. I'm gifted, really I'm a gifted reader. I read all the European philosophers, then I read those crazy ones also. Okay, trying to find guidance, okay? I couldn't find nothing on Islam. Finally, when I got out of the army, I was working with, helping, since my main mission was to uproot racism and white supremacy, I worked with the integration at that time. This is in the 60s, okay? And we boycotted Slidell. We were very successful. I worked with some preachers and different ones like that. With my communist ideology, I could work with anybody, okay? Now, I'm not believing what they're teaching, but I'm using them in my mission to uproot white supremacy, okay? Then, we had 12 member board. I'm a young one in my 20s, a lot of energy. And the power structure came to the board, offered all of us money and positions and recognition if we just leave the civil rights past Slidell. On my 12-member board, every one of them took the bribe, every single one. The school teacher became they gave him on the school board. One, gave him a job with the principal, a job with the one protect the president. The lawyer, they made him a judge. One, they made him, put him on the school board. Every one of my Negro associates on the board took the bribe, except me, and they called me, "You damn fool, you. You'll never get another position like that." They offered me a job with the FBI with 30 agents under my control. They offered me, when they passed the civil rights law, the headquarters in Atlanta, they offered me to run that office, paying me $65,000 a year in the 60s, all right? They offered me the vice president of the NAACP nationwide, Years later, they finally gave up. Said, Lawrence, we can't scare you, we can't bribe you. But we're gonna make sure you never get a lot of people, you never get a lot of money. Everybody showed me out. I got so angry. I joined a group called the Republic of New Africa. I got some guns, because my grandfather, when they ran him out of Lacombe, and he went to Oklahoma, Choctaw Nation, Oklahoma, there's a war there called the Green Corn Rebellion. I think my grandfather was in that. The Indians in Oklahoma got together with other Indian tribes, poor whites, and some free blacks. There's an overthrow of the government of the United States. There's going to come to Lacombe, that's why I knew he was in it. Get some more weapons, some more people, and go to D.C., take over the government, Green Corn Rebellion. Okay.
So what was your father's name and your grandfather's name? Your father's name and your grandfather's name.
My father is Martin Terrence. He's the Frenchman. But my Indian Alcide Ducre.
Okay.
Okay. So I joined a group called Republic of New Africa. So I'm gonna do like my grandfather. Okay. Guns and stuff like that. Young, angry, not using good sense. Okay. But then I saw that organization was so infiltrated by the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, stuff like that. Finally, a guy said the Muhammad speaking newspaper, Elijah Muhammad's group, black Muslim, came to my house and brought me a paper. And I said, okay, I'm gonna find a black Muslim, I'm gonna join up with them finally. Good deal, because once you join up with Elijah Muhammad, you couldn't have a gun, okay? So I sold all my guns. Next day, the FBI they've been knocking on my doors or something. You know, you be with J. Edgar Hoover, he'll harass you 24/7. I met with the FBI chief years later. I said, why y'all didn't fire me? What else I was doing? He said, because you work at the post office and we knew where you was. Other than that, we had to pay 2 men full time to watch you. He said it was cheap to let you keep your job. That made me feel good. Anyway, I joined with the black Muslim. Next day, the FBI knocked on my door. Y'all joined up with Elijah Muhammad? I said, yeah. You know he don't allow y'all to keep the guns. I said, I know that. I sold all my guns, and I told my family, if something happened to me, I said, the FBI killed it, did it. So I come into my gun and work with the Nation of Islam. And sending papers, trying to get getting them, the African American, to stand up, grow some balls, get some knowledge. Don't take this crap. And I went all the way to Mississippi, almost to Hattiesburg, other side of Buckaloo to Mississippi, Hammond, past Hammond, going towards Baton Rouge, you know.